Fermented tofu, also known as stinky tofu, is one of those foods that immediately sparks strong reactions. To some, it is a beloved delicacy, a rich, savory snack that holds deep cultural significance and offers a uniquely pungent flavor profile that can't be found in anything else. To others, it is a food best avoided, a block of tofu marinated in a fermenting brine that can seem more like an acquired taste than anything remotely familiar. Its sharp, robust odor, which wafts through the air even before it touches the lips, is a sensory experience in itself. Fermented tofu doesn't ask for your attention. It demands it. And yet, if you can get past that visceral initial encounter, it offers more than just flavor. It offers nourishment in a way few foods do today. From a nutritional perspective, fermented tofu is a powerhouse, packed with probiotics that support gut health and immune function. These beneficial bacteria can improve digestion, enhance the absorption of nutrients, and even promote mental well-being by influencing the gut-brain connection. Fermented foods like this one have long been part of the human diet, prized for their ability to preserve food without refrigeration while also transforming it into something even more beneficial to the body. It's also an excellent source of vitamin B12, an essential nutrient for nerve function, red blood cell production, and DNA synthesis, which is particularly important for those following plant-based diets. Many people struggle to get enough B12 from plant foods, and fermented tofu can be a valuable addition to the diet in this regard. But then there's the challenge: the taste and smell. The sharp, tangy bite of fermented tofu hits the tongue immediately, unlike the milder, creamier texture of unfermented tofu. There's nothing subtle about the experience. It's bold, complex, and often described as funky or earthy. The fermentation process, which breaks down the proteins in tofu into more flavorful compounds, gives the tofu a depth that can be overpowering to the unprepared. It's a pungency that can fill the room, lingering in the air long after the food is gone. To some, it's an intoxicating complexity, a rich, fermented umami flavor that can enhance dishes with its salty, savory character. But to others, it's a stench, an acrid, sharp odor that brings to mind sour, rotten foods. It can be so strong that simply being near it is enough to turn people away before they even have the chance to taste it. The fermentation process itself also brings with it another level of discomfort for many. The idea of food that has been intentionally allowed to spoil, to develop bacteria and mold, is foreign to modern palates. We've been taught to avoid any sign of rot or decay in our food, but with fermented tofu, that very process of decay is what gives the food its richness, depth, and nutritional benefits. Fermented tofu challenges the sanitization of food that has become so prevalent in contemporary society. It forces us to confront our fear of things that don't fit neatly into the box of safe or clean. In its very essence, fermented tofu asks us to embrace something wild, something living. And yet, this food also holds a kind of truth that modern, processed foods often lack. There is no artifice to fermented tofu. It is the product of time, of nature, of bacteria breaking down protein into something new. It's a food that speaks to the history of human food preservation, a method used for thousands of years to extend the shelf life of ingredients and introduce probiotics into the diet. Fermented tofu is not a food designed for quick consumption or easy pleasure. It is food that demands patience, understanding, and an open mind. For those who can appreciate it, it becomes an acquired taste that rewards with both its unique flavor and its health benefits. For some, though, the strong taste and smell may simply be too much. The challenge of fermented tofu is not just about the sensory experience of eating it, but about the cultural context that comes with it. In places like Taiwan, China, and other parts of East Asia, fermented tofu is considered a delicacy and is often used as a condiment to enhance dishes such as congee, noodles, or stir-fries. It's not consumed in large quantities, but rather in small amounts, where its sharpness can be appreciated as a punch of flavor that transforms an otherwise simple dish. But for someone unfamiliar with the food or its preparation, this intensity can be overwhelming. The smell alone can be enough to discourage someone from ever giving it a try, and the first taste might feel like a challenge to the very core of what food is supposed to be: pleasurable, familiar, comforting. However, there's something deeply satisfying about pushing through that discomfort. It's not about getting used to it in the way one might get used to a dull, everyday flavor. Instead, it's about learning to appreciate the layers of complexity that exist beneath the initial sharpness. The fermented tofu can add an almost creamy texture, a tang that evolves on the tongue, with subtle salty and umami notes that take root in your senses and leave an impression. In small doses, it has the power to elevate a dish, to bring a boldness that you wouldn't get from any other ingredient. But again, it requires openness, curiosity, and a willingness to taste the world as it is, not as we expect it to be. The health benefits are undeniable, and for those who are committed to maintaining a healthy gut and boosting their B12 intake, fermented tofu becomes not just an option but a potential cornerstone of the diet. It's a functional food, one that goes beyond indulgence and convenience, asking instead for a little patience, a little respect, and a willingness to embrace the fermented world in all its stinky, flavorful, and healthy glory. Ultimately, fermented tofu is a challenge to taste, to tolerance, to preconceptions about what food should be. It's not the easiest choice. It won't be a favorite for everyone, and that's okay. But for those who take the plunge, who find themselves able to make peace with the smell, the taste, and the unfamiliarity, fermented tofu offers something that few other foods can. A reminder that the best things in life often come with a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of funk, and a lot of reward. And in a world full of shortcuts, that challenge is something to be embraced, not avoided.